What's going on, Internet? It is your boy, Eric Bandholz, back again with another awesome episode from Beardbrand. And today, I'm going a little bit different route. I want to tell you my beard journey. So, I'm 36 years old. Just turned 36. I'm getting up there. You know, I'm getting close to 40. Actually, I think that might be the first time I thought about that. But my beard journey probably started when I was in high school, like many of you guys. I was a kid that went to the mirror a lot and was hoping to have sideburns. See, I was a late bloomer. Not only was I young for my grade, I was also late to hit puberty and grow up. I was always a skinny kid, and it kind of sucked, you know, like everyone else was getting their armpit hair, and I remember looking in the mirror like, when's it coming in? And you know, of course I would shave, but I think the first foray into the beard was just simply sideburns, and I've got a patch right here that's filled in a little bit as I've gotten older, but I would just shave to right about down here. And then as I got into college, I would grow this chin area out. And that's all that I felt I had confidence to do at that age. And this would probably continue throughout college. I really didn't have any kind of facial hair in college other than very small sideburns and maybe a little bit of a chin beard here and there. After college, I attended the workforce. I came into the workforce, and this is when I started a little bit more experimenting with beard. I remember in college at the end of it, like part of the counselor's guidance was like, if you ever want a job interview, you've got to shave your beard. And I think it was kind of around this time period that I was starting to feel a little more confident about trying to grow a beard and having facial hair. And I went through that stage of, you know, shaving every 2 or 3 days. I've never had like a really full, thick beard. It was always been on the fairer color side. So it wouldn't be too noticeable when it grows in. And I could always just get away with like scruff or something like that. So after shaving to get my jobs, my first job, I remember I would have that process of essentially growing my beard out. And I shouldn't say I was growing my beard out. I should say I didn't shave for a week. And then what I would do is I would do like a chin strap, or I'd do some weird handlebar mustache, or I just do kind of like silly beard shapes. Like I never really took my beard growth serious. I feel like it was kind of, I wanted to be there. I wanted to do it. And I had friends that had facial hair. And I remember one of my friends, Brian Bland, grew like a really big beard. Like he was the first guy to actually grow a big beard that I knew of, and this was back in 2004, I believe. So he was probably like one of the first guys. Of course, here in Austin at the time, you could get away with that. So I went through the pace that I think a lot of guys out there do, or it's a good way to kind of dip your toes in the water. And then I moved to Charlotte, and I took a job in outside sales. And in outside sales, I really felt that pressure to shave my face. And I worked for a company that was suit and tie, or button-up shirt and tie. And I really didn't feel like I had the ability to grow my facial hair. So I worked there for 5 years. And it wasn't until like year probably like 4 where I was kind of burnt out of that job, and I didn't really care what they thought of me. And I joined some nonprofits that involved growing my facial hair out. So that was the first time I actually grew my beard out for a month. And I remember all the hair here, and like just seeing that for the first time, completely unshaped, untrimmed, blew my mind. And actually that reminds me back to my wedding, which was around the same time in Charlotte. When I got married in 2006, I did have facial hair. And at that time, I also shaved too high to my chin. So my neckline kind of went here. And it was like a 2-week long beard. And that's generally kind of what I kept for the most part, was kind of that shorter beard. So at the tail end of that job, I was let go as part of the recession, unfortunately. And that was inspiration to me to really kind of grow my beard more than a month. And I think I gave it maybe 2 or 3 months. And at this point in my life, I thought it was just crazy, wild, huge, enormous type of beard. This was 2008. And I remember going to, or I should say 2009, I remember going to my 10-year high school reunion. And I did have the biggest beard at the time, but in hindsight, it was a little tiny. And I grew it out because we were moving to Spokane, and I figured everyone in Spokane, Washington had these big burly beards and I'd fit right in. But lo and behold, I get into Spokane and no one's got facial hair there. And I ended up taking a job at Merrill Lynch as a financial advisor. And I shaved the beard off again to get that job. And that kind of goes back to my own personal insecurities of wanting to fit in to society or fit into the community or fit in, rather than wanting to be myself. Because I've always considered myself a bearded guy. Even if it was short, or even if I didn't even have a beard, I've always preferred to have facial hair, and of varying lengths and of various shapes and styles. So I worked as a advisor for about 1.5 years, and really that was the culmination of me being done with conforming to society. I really felt like working at a big bank, doing a job I didn't entirely love, was soul sucking. It was really eating at me from the inside. And I decided to quit that job, and that is when I first grew out my beard, and grew it longer than just a month's worth of beard or a couple months worth of beard. And what I did is I told my wife, I remember telling her, I'm going to grow my beard out. Help me along this process. And she was like, oh, I don't know about that. But I'm I'm going to do it. I'm going to give it 3 months or maybe. And then once I got to 3 months, I'm I'm going to give it 6 more months. And at this time, I was really active on the Beard Board, Jeff's Beard Board. And that's a great community to kind of share your progress upgrades and to get advice and tips from other people. So I was real active on there. I was soaking everything up. I was learning about everything and growing my beard to the best that I could. And at this time, there's a lot of pressure to just keep on growing. So I went for 6 months. And then I went for 12 months, and I hit the year. And then I kind of didn't know what to do once I hit the year. And then I went to beard competitions and I fell in love with it, right? So I loved the community. I loved really having a beard. I loved the attention that I got. I got everyone to be like, hey, great beard, man. And I love that feeling. And I went to the beard competition, 2012, Portland, West Coast Beard and Mustache Championships. And that was when I met other urban beardsmen. And I came up with the idea for Urban Beardsmen, came up with the idea for Beardbrand, and a way to kind of unite urban beardsmen and to provide guidance and inspiration and help for those who didn't fit the traditional stereotypes of bearded guy and who really felt those pressures to conform to a society that was pushing, shaving and the completely shaved look. And you'll see kind of from there, you can get a visual documentation of my beard journey. I continue to grow my beard out. And I said in a previous video, my #1 beard mistake was I never really trimmed it. I got too afraid. I got too into the growing process to know actually what to do with my beard. And, even though I have this YouTube channel and even though I'm sharing everything that I've learned, I've also grown in my journey and I've also learned a lot of things over the past 5 years, because this is, you can go back now and see my beard journey. And I've found a lot of enjoyment in being able to have a shorter beard or a beard that's well kept or more kept than what I had. So if you go back to my old videos, you'll just see the sides were just all over, and it was just kind of, it did its own thing. And I had my good days and I had my bad days. So for me, during that period of my life, kind of from the 2011 to present, what I found was like the beard was a portal into self-improvement. It was like a point for me where I finally felt like I was living up to my potential. Like I was not only like doing what I loved, I was investing in myself. Like the beard, like I never did hairstyles before I grew my beard, and growing the beard helped me parlay that into taking care of my hair. And I never cared about my skin before. Like I never considered like what kind of things would cause damage or what type of products I was using on my skin and on my face, and started to get invested in that and making sure that I was taking care of my skin so that in 20 years from now or 30 years from now, I don't look like a rag doll. So I think it's been a lot of really, like, I wanted to share that journey. I wanted to be able to say, hey guys, you take care of your beard, and then all of a sudden you can take care of your hair, and you can take care of your skin, and you can take care of your style. And that's kind of what happened for me. It's like up to this point, my mom like bought my clothes. Like the only time I was getting new clothes was when I went back for Christmas and my mom got me like a t-shirt or a sweater or something. So I had no style. And I found that like investing in my style, you know, helped me stand out and helped me have confidence, and it helped me, you know, be a unique individual that isn't like every other dude out there. And it's small things. I mean, I wouldn't say I've got this wild style or crazy style, but it's purposeful and it's thought out and it's with direction, and it's okay to evolve and change over time, and it likely will evolve and change over time. But it's that education and investment in myself that helped me get there, and it really all started with my beard. So I'd love to hear in the comments kind of maybe like a brief rundown of what your beard journey was like, where you're at on the beard journey. How long have you been growing your beard? What are your plans, and how has it changed you as a man? So I'd love to hear them. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Cheers, and keep on growing. Beardbrand is a premium men's grooming company with products not only for your beard, but also your hair and body. Do yourself a favor and head over to beardbrand.com and take care of yourself. Or you can stick around and watch a few more of our awesome videos.